What's good, O'Shea Duke Jackson channel? It's your boy back at it again with another episode here on the O'Shea Duke Jackson channel. Make sure you guys come in, like, subscribe, check out the videos. And today we're back at it, man, with our brother George Macon from
Uh-oh.
the Urban Nerds YouTube channel. I'll let him explain what his channel is about, his channels on YouTube is about, and what he's trying to get achieved here.
Well, my Urban Nerds is a nonprofit 501c3 in Philadelphia. Um, we're working on a robotics club with Drexel University. We're in the process of beginning to take young kids, 15 to between 15 and 20 on college tours. We're going to start off at Howard University in Morgan State. Um, uh, our nonprofit, we actually go into the youth prisons actually to talk to the youth. We're trying to create a bounce back program where we get scholarship programs to get these kids into trade schools, where they can go and learn a trade. A lot of kids from these urban areas, colleges are situated inside the urban areas, but they'll never see the inside of a college. They're born, they're not on the trajectory of even going to college. That's not even something that's in their thought process. So I decided I'm trying to bring Black intelligence back to the community, with Urban Nerds and making being a nerd cool. Like you could be a nerd and have swag. All nerds is not associated with just the geek or the dork or how they portray smart people. So, we're just trying to bring black intelligence back to the community. That's what it's about. And instead of me complaining about certain things, I decided to do something. I decided to go get all my paperwork right and do something. So now when I am dealing with these corporations, first thing they ask where they send a check to. We got everything set up, and like I said, we moving with the kids. March 6th, we'll be doing a road trip with 15 kids, and March 13th we'll be doing another one. So look forward to that on the Urban Nerds channel.
All right, brother, and really, it's a great thing what you're doing. I have a Urban Nerds T-shirt back home in Sacramento, so a lot of people. In fact, I was actually coming back from Uganda to Belgium on the flight, and I saw a brother from Philadelphia that had one of your Urban Nerds T-shirts. So it seems like a lot of people are supporting what you're trying to do in the city of Philadelphia. But let me talk to you about this.
Getting around, man. Yeah, we getting around. We going international. Urban Nerds are gonna be everywhere real soon, man. Real soon.
Let me talk to you about this, man, because you brought up a pretty good point. We were on the phone actually today, a little earlier today, and we know that Bobby Shmurda has been released from prison, and a lot of people were celebrating him getting out. Chris Brown, Meek Mill, Quavo from the Migos. A lot of people were very, very excited about him getting out of prison. And in the video that I did, you saw a lot of people saying, well, man, why is it that when Black men go to prison, people are so excited about them getting out? But you don't see that same energy for, if a Black man graduates college or university or does something great, open the business, you don't see that same energy. And you have some interesting reasons as to why that is. Why do we have that? We perceive that to be our culture in African American, in Black America.
Well, let me first, before we even get into it, let me say this, because anybody that know my content that actually watch me know that I always teach that nigga culture is not Black culture. That's something that was manufactured, made in America. Nigga culture is not Black culture. Not all, but a lot of our people in our community has been conditioned to believe that because we don't know our history. So we didn't always celebrate this kind of stuff. There was a period of time during our parents' and grandparents' era where they would sit by the radio and listen to a Joe Louis knock out a white man and win a championship, or listen to a Jack Johnson knock out a championships, and whites would come and start burning our cities down because we had Black pride. We sit around and we celebrated a Shirley Chisholm. We celebrated a Dr. King. We celebrated our best. It wasn't until after the Civil Rights Act of '64 was signed and we start having this integration that we start losing sight of. And I'm coming down and I'm going to give a historical aspect of why we see what we see today. after integration, we start losing sight of what the struggle was about. And a lot of us started doing for self. And then, around 1970, they had the Superfly and the black exploitation movies and the heroin, and you start having heroin kingpins, and you start seeing the movies Hell Up in Harlem and all that kind of stuff, Harlem and the Black Mafia in Philadelphia and California and Oakland, and that kind of stuff started to be pushed to the forefront because the dominant society understood what the 60s and the 50s was about, when we had that black pride that actually pushed and elevated our people to be able to even get in colleges, to get degrees, to be the best versions of ourselves. So as time went on, we began to, how can I say it? I want to find the right words. We began to celebrate the lower versions of ourselves. Why? Because a lot of people in the communities that we come from, O'Shea, man, listen, you live in New York City, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia. A lot of brothers don't even think that they're going to live to be 25. Mm-hmm. A lot of brothers that even make it to college, and O'Shea, you could attest to this. A lot of brothers that made it to college never even thought that they would even make it to college.
Yeah, that's true.
They was the first ones in their family to even make it or even graduate. A lot of our achievements is based off of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been conditioned. So what happens is in the hood, when you see certain success in the hood, whether right, wrong, or indifferent, if it's street stuff, you still attribute it to success.
Okay.
Like street stuff, you attribute that to success. Why? Because a lot of us, O'Shea, we don't plan things. We don't think. We live in the black community. We've been conditioned to live in a sense of urgency.
Mm-hmm.
We don't plan 10, 15, 20 years in advance. We got to get it now because ain't no telling if I'm going to be here to even see it. That's something that's been passed down to us generationally. Our grandparents did it. Our grandparents, they had a slow walk, but they still was, the grandpa was under the clock to get things done, to put food on the table, to do everything. And to this day, we still live like that there's not planning. So when you see the brother going to school, nobody's really paying attention to that. Everybody's paying attention to the guy in the hood with the car, the guy with the girls, because that's right out there in front of you. That's instant gratification. That's immediate success. I want to be that. Man, I don't want to go to Howard. Man, I have to wait 5 years. And then when I come out, I got to wait another 10 years. And by the time I'm 45, I finally achieve the success. We're not taught to visualize or even see ourselves like that, O'Shea. That's not something that's trained in the black community. Pop was always under the gun. Pop had, a lot of our dads didn't have time to go to work, O'Shea. I mean, go to college. They had to go to work to feed us.
Right.
So it's two aspects of this. That thought process where brothers say that black people that are successful are not noticed. Well, I agree but disagree.
Okay. Why do you disagree?
Because in the black community, when little Tyrone and Keisha graduates, they get parties too. I live in Philadelphia. They get parties too. Right. I'll say that we don't put black intelligence to the forefront, but I'm going to tell you why. This is the clapback now. And tell me if I'm wrong, O'Shea. If I'm wrong, challenge me on this. Most of our people today, we got black people every year graduating from HBCUs. Every year, O'Shea, am I right or wrong?
Yeah, sure.
In cities like Memphis, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Detroit, where's the black male, young black male economic program or economic economic strategy that we can see in working to develop communities? Where is the political program on a table that we can see? What is the young black man's political agenda? And the reason why I'm saying this is this, right? Our ancestors walked, marched, got dogs sicked on them, was hung from trees, was shot up by police for creating revolutions, for us to go to college to get these degrees, so that way we can acquire knowledge to understand capitalism, to compete in the game. Most of our people go to college, come out of college. We don't develop communities. We rather go work in other people's communities. So what happens is, the reason why the people in the hood is celebrated more because the people in the hood can see them.
Right. Okay.
The educated dentist, the black doctor, the black lawyer, the black accountant, most young kids don't see them. That's why I created the Urban Nerds.
Okay.
So I can take these kids to these people.
Okay.
But you know who they do see, O'Shea? They see the Indian doctor.
Mm-hmm.
They see the Asian accountant. They see the Russian landlord.
Mm-hmm.
Black people.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm saying is we got millions of black people, educated black people,
Mm-hmm.
who grandparents fought tooth and nail for them to have the opportunity. See, they thought our grandparents and them had no choice but to think 20 years down the line. Because they said, while I'm sharecropping or while I'm in Jim Crow, I'm gonna bust my ass so my grandchildren and great grandchildren can have this opportunity that I don't have. We're not capitalizing on it. So a lot of people will hear me saying this, and they'll disagree with me because I'm saying it. But if O'Shea is saying it, it's correct. This is the thing, right? The drug dealer, watch this, O'Shea, in the black community, the crack dealer or the gangbanger with the bandana around his head and AK-47 in his hand is a godsend to the competing man that's competing against the black man. Because you can't expect that guy to understand anything of building community, understanding zoning laws, understanding nothing. The best of every group builds their communities.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm asking the question, where is the HBCU graduates?
Mm-hmm.
Where are they? I'm seeing Joe Biden and we're complaining, but what is the political agenda for black men? Where's the super PAC at from these educated black men whom the manosphere say is part of the middle class?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the political agenda? Where's the economic agenda? Like every other group. See, because in the black community, right? O'Shea, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars off the black community right now.
Oh yeah.
Brothers like Dr. BOA.
Mm-hmm.
Brothers like Kevin Samuels.
Oh yeah.
What I'm saying is, when I walk through the community of Philadelphia or Baltimore, I'm naming the black cities other than Atlanta. Our grandparents did everything right. They got it as far as we can go, to the point where nobody got more degrees than black women. Black men are getting degrees. Yep. Where is the ownership in these majority black cities? So what does this got to do with Bobby Smyrna? Because I'm bringing it full circle.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. What you
doing? When we have economic power and ownership in our communities, the young people growing up will begin to emulate you. He would want ownership. He want to be like you. Right now, they want to be the rapper. They want to be the gangster because that's what's presented to them.
Okay.
I have a lot of kids, when I'm talking to these kids, they say, George, ain't no such thing as a black doctor. Sometimes I want to walk out the room and cry because I'm like, what? They think if you a black judge, you're a coon or a sellout. They don't think that we have the intellectual ability to do these things because it's not something that's prevalent in their community where they see it. Because when we make money, we leave.
Well, let me ask you a question, George, because that's an issue. Why do you think? Because I mean, obviously, what you're saying is right, but the other side of people that I've heard, and I'm gonna let you explain in your own words, why are the educated African Americans not staying in the community from their vantage point? Why do you think they're leaving and now, wanting to stay?
Well, it's many things. One of them is trauma, experiencing trauma in the community, because I've experienced trauma in the community to a point where I wanted to get the hell out. Some of it is some of us are people just downright coons and sellouts. They don't give a damn about the structure. Some of our people don't give a damn about the people that fought for them, that fought before they were born, for them to have the opportunity. Some of our people, they come on here and talk about it. Some of our people, the education system in America is not a system that's set up for black people to want to do for black people. We've seen it. Carter G. Woodson talked about it. In order for the educated black people to be celebrated, They have to create something visible for it to be celebrated. And it has to be something tangible that the people can benefit from. The reason why other groups are celebrated, O'Shea, because they actually have communities where there's a system that their people are benefiting from. White education is celebrated because they got universities. White people can take care of their people and punish their people. So can Indian people. So can Latino people. So what happens is we have to now start learning how to plan. See, because I say this stuff because I care about my people.
Okay.
I don't want the gangsterism being celebrated. But the only way it's not going to be celebrated is I will have to walk down the avenues of Philadelphia and see black-owned dentists, black-owned doctors, black-owned butcher shops, black-owned everything. So now just think of the average boy, O'Shea. When he gets up, he brushes his teeth with toothpaste we don't make. He puts his clothes on with stuff we don't make. He walks outside and goes into a store and never see people that look like him. He's conditioned to not be subordinate to nothing successful. But when he sees the drug dealer or the homeboys, they all look like him. So what do you think he's going to acquiesce to?
Right.
That's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So our people are conditioned to celebrate the low vibration of ourselves because we see very little. A lot of us see very little of ourselves. A lot of these young kids ain't thinking about going to college. That's why I'm taking them on college tours because I want to give them something different to the optics. It's a battle for the minds. I have to challenge these kids, man. I chose to do something about it. But this is the thing. We should have a whole lot more black millionaires in this country right now.
Okay.
Because when I look at these Russians that own all New York and Philadelphia, all the educated black women and men we have, it ain't no excuse why we don't own it. And I don't want to hear the argument that I ain't buying nothing. They ain't gonna do nothing but tear it up, because I'm gonna tell you, they are gonna tear it up the first couple years. But the more and more we keep putting back as we get education and know-how, you have to plan 10, 15, 20 years. What do you think the crack era was? The crack era was to dump this stuff into these inner cities, make the property value plummet. After 20 years, you come back in and buy it up cheap, gentrify all the people out and sell it high. That's a 20-year plan. Now they got the 2030 plan. We got the best of our groups got to work together to do the same thing.
Okay. So let me ask you this, because I remember Ice Cube, when he started getting famous in NWA, he tried to stay in the same neighborhood that he was living at. He got robbed like 4 times. Same thing with Boosie and things like that. And don't get me wrong, I understand what you're saying, because there's a lot of people that, okay, I understand, like, and you have the vantage point of, you don't have to live there, but your business can operate there. But I think what happens is also a lot of African Americans that are successful face a certain level of entitlement from people that are there in the community. People sometimes target their businesses and things like that. And I mean, I get what you're saying. It makes sense that, we need to still keep struggling like the people in the past struggled to make it better for the next generation. I can't say I disagree with that. But for the individual person who's saying, listen, I worked hard to do what I'm trying to do and trying to, give back to the community. I have a product. I want to sell it here. People were asking for the hookup, and then when another group comes in, like the Asians and something like that, they don't ask them for the hookup. Well, again, they don't want to support my business because, now don't get me wrong. I do finish this. I do believe that the black community, I think we have a lot of bad entrepreneurs because I think our markets will support like any other markets will support, right? I think there's some issues on our ends. But what about all the, some people are trying to, pay back the college loan and things like that. And just because, people to tear up your business, you got money invested, hey, well, should I put it there? Because, I don't want to keep losing my money and stuff just for the sake of the black community. What would you say to that?
This is very easy. This is a layup. Let me ask you a question. What systems are set in place to really help and develop even the educated black man? Look at what happened with Nick Cannon, right? Where was the black? Where was the black male coalition? Powerful black male coalition to protect him. What systems do we have set in place to protect us when black men that are not Pookies and Ray Rays get shot by police or pulled over in cars or get fired, stuff that don't make the news, or get accused of certain things? What systems are set in place to protect black men? Other groups have their systems. Other groups have their politicians. What power does black... See, what I'm saying is this, right? Our dysfunction in our communities is beneficial to every other group but black people.
Right. No, I agree with that. Yeah,
very well. Beneficial. So a Pookie and Ray Ray or them celebrating Bobby Smyrna is a godsend to other competing men.
Yes, absolutely.
Watch this. You graduating from college and going to work for Pfizer or these other groups is still a godsend to other competing men.
Yeah.
Because you're not competing. You're not working together with other black men to do trade with Nigeria or get do some type of trade to actually build your own to compete against Pfizer. What I'm saying is, even when you're educated, I get what you're saying. They're gonna tear up my stuff. The first couple years, they are going to tear up your stuff. Every group went through this, but every group redeveloped their people over time. Some had, a lot of them had help from the government. We're not getting help from the government. So guess who got to do what we do? Because even if you don't do it, right, you still complaining about not being noticed in your community, and you still not protected black man out there alone in these corporate structures. Nobody's out there to protect the black man. He out there in the wilderness alone. We see it all the time when black men come under fire because we don't have systems set in place where we're subordinate to each other. Other groups do. That's why when that guy got killed by the Asian in New York City, by the cop, the black man got shot by that cop, the Asian cop. They didn't give a damn whether he shot an unarmed black man. All they went to do was protect the Chinese man, the brand. We don't have systems set in place when things happen to us. So what I'm saying is, to bring it back to the Bobby Smyrna thing, a lot of people in the community don't respect a lot of educated blacks because they're not visible.
Right.
With power.
No, I understand.
They're not visible with power. And I need some brothers that's watching this to listen, to understand what I'm trying to tell you. I ain't telling you to live in, I'm not telling you got to live in South Central, Southwest Philly. But what I'm telling you is when you coming out of these colleges with economic know-how, you need to get in the game and compete. If the Russians is buying up all the properties in these black communities, you need to be competing against them. Not going to work for somebody's corporation for 20 fucking years. Brothers like Gabe A and them, y'all need to be in the game. And we need to see you with the suit on. We need to see new 2021 Black Enterprise magazines with brothers and sisters making shit happen when young brothers can pick it up or they can go online and see it and be like, damn, I want to be like this. I don't want to be like Tyrone. They need to be more visible. That's why I created the Urban Nerds. The Urban Nerds are going to turn into a podcast where we start making brothers like Gabe A and them visible. That's my whole point. I want to bring black intelligence back to the community. I want to bring the black doctors, the Black Judges Association. I want to bring those people out where people can see them because they need to be more visible. See, the Bloods and the Crips is very visible, but a lot of our black educated is not. They're not there. They're not there for you to see them. And that's why when they come home, we celebrating that because we're not celebrating the victories and the power of our education and what I want to say, the struggle of Dr. King, the struggle of Stokely Carmichael, the struggle of Malcolm X. When you get a chance to go to a Howard University graduation or Spelman or any one of those, you should sit there, man, and just sit back and say, damn, they did it. Like, you know, or even Villanova University, Cornell University. Our ability to go there, to go to those schools and get that came from them. And they didn't do that. They didn't do that as individuals. They did it as a group. And they did it for us. They did it for us to create a better economic floor for us to be able to protect ourselves. And the reason why, and during that time, they wasn't celebrating gangsterism. The reason why we celebrating the gangsterism is because a group of competing men used our communities as collateral damage to destroy it with crack to fund wars in Central and South America, right? Through CIA involvement in our communities, right? And a lot of our people, through trauma, said, I got to get the fuck out of here. And they left. I get it. But in order to redevelop our people and compete, we have to get in the game economics. See, what I'm saying is this: you don't have to live there, but our educated best should own and control our communities. They should own. Our educated best should own and control our politics. It's as simple as that. And I guarantee you, if they did, they would be more visible to the point where kids will begin to emulate that. Kids are not emulating that because they're invisible. They're not there. They're not there. And I know this firsthand because I ain't just on YouTube talking shit. I'm doing something. I'm with these kids. I'm outside. I'm going to the buildings. I'm going to the places. I'm seeking out these black scientists and I'm bringing them back. Yo, get over here and talk to these kids, please. Let them see you. Let them see you. And they're not telling me no. They coming out. So you're gonna always have these kids today celebrating that stuff until our educated best make themselves more visible. They have to make themselves more visible. They have to be seen more. Mm-hmm. And for those of y'all that don't care, I ain't talking to you. Fine, mm-hmm. I'm not talking to you. But I know that there is a lot of people that actually do care. And all I'm asking is, you HBCU graduates, all up and down the East Coast, where are y'all? Mm-hmm. Where are you? Listen, we go up to these auctions to buy off these homes. It ain't no reason why there ain't a bunch of educated black men in suits in there buying up everything, co-opting with other educated black men. You got the education now. You got the know-how. Explain to me why you ain't doing it. You happy because you got a little six-figure job down there at that office, but you one mistake away or one accusation away from being fired. Mm-hmm. So even with your education and you going to work for other people, making them rich, that's still a godsend to them, mm-hmm. because you're not competing against them. Mm-hmm. So the whole gist of this video for me, O'Shea, is people like Rowdy Rebel and Bobby Smyrna are going to be celebrated until some of our best make themselves more visible and work in tandem, right? Like right now, right? People talk about the LGBT agenda and they got more rights than us. We talk about reparations and all these different things, right? We should see. I'm gonna tell you what the community should see. A lot of young people in the hood should see. Thousands of young black college educated, 21 to at least 35, on the forefront with a pro-black agenda, with an economic and political agenda. They should see it moving, separate from Black Lives Matter. It should be there where they can see it and be like, damn, I want to be like that. My son, my 13-year-old son should be like, Dad, Bethune-Cookman or Virginia Commonwealth, these colleges, Hampton, Dad, I want to go there because I seen such and such. Hell no. They're not visible. They're invisible. They're working, but they're not somewhere where we can see them. And that's what I'm saying. And you made a live stream about that about a year ago. You said that the educated lame or the educated brother has to be more visible. Mm-hmm. I got that from you. They need to be more seen like other groups are. Mm-hmm. They need to be out in the forefront where you can see the fruits of their labor. You can see their works. Where people, the reason why, like we see the drug dealer, we see the gangster drill music. Mm-hmm. My son see it, so my son gravitates towards it. I gotta to find a young black judge. I gotta Google and look and search. Mm-hmm. Why? Why is that? We got social media today. Nobody's controlling our image no more.
Let me also tell you this too, and I use myself as an example because when many of us, like my dad went to UCLA, my mom went to UC Davis. So my mom, they both went to UCs in the predominantly white institutions. So, at that particular time, the black dollar, even though the dollar is the same, the black dollar has always been looked at as less than the white dollar, although they're both the same amount of money, right? It's a dollar's a dollar. So the black economy, and even in the 60s and 70s where you had, a lot of the industry in Black America running through the Church of God in Christ or AME or Baptist churches, a lot of people got business connections through there. A lot of community businesses came from these situations. My parents were telling me, when you get out of school, get away from Del Paso Heights and, go to, the greater America. And of course, when you've been taught that, you're looking at where you're from as, well, there's no opportunity, there's no money here. Right. Dealing with black people, there's no money here. And then if your parents have a bad experience with black people, they're gonna tell you, man, don't leave these niggas alone, don't trust these niggas, and all of that. So you have that distrust, and you're like, well, I had a few bad experiences, dealing with these niggas. So you're right, mom's always right. But it wasn't until I came into the Black Manosphere in 2015 that little guy by the name of Obsidian wanted to know if black men would support what we're doing. I've always been open to it. I said, you know what? If you're good, because a lawyer told me this. I was going to go to University of Pacific Majority School of Law. I was going to become a tax attorney.
Right.
And the economy was bad at the time, according to U.S. News. And I said, well, I'm not sure if I take become a lawyer, I'll make money. He said, don't worry about that. Worry about being good, right? That always stuck with me. And I looked at the spending power of Black America, $1.4 trillion. I'm looking at all of this stuff. And I said, well, you know what? The real wealth is here. Then I went to Africa and I start to seeing, I like farming and stuff like that. I didn't care about that. I like, what, farms? What is that? Corny. That's corny. I start seeing dudes with buckets of, boatloads of money, guys making $1,000 a day. I had no idea, right? I just wasn't exposed to it. And then what I figured out was, wait a minute, I'm leaving my economy to go there, and there's less money there. Even like I sit on YouTube, in Black YouTube, we can make $500,000, $1 million. Just in the black spaces. And it's
our own people.
Yeah, and it's so much money that I can't even get it all every day. I'm like, look,
stop right there real quick. Let me just interject.
Go ahead.
Because this is important. Mm-hmm. We've been conditioned to not make money off our own people.
Yes.
Everybody else make money off of us but us. And that $1 trillion spending power, we're funding everybody else's American dream but ourselves. That's the problem. People say every other group has their community base. You might have certain upper echelon people in America that live in certain suburbs together, but they still have a community they still have an Asian community, certain white communities, Polish and different things. They all support each other. Not us. We're running away from each other. And I'm telling people, we have the spending power if we learn how to spend. The gist of what I'm saying, O'Shea, is our grandparents and them pushed us so far to get to this way, and it's our job to figure it out now. Ain't nobody coming in our house and dragging us out and hanging us from trees. We got so-called black on black crime, but we can fix that over time. The more and more we support each other and begin to redevelop the younger generation, we can fix that. But you are proof. It's other brothers are proof. I'm supposed to make money off my own people, and then the greater society. Right. We run from each other and we give our dollar to everybody else. So what I'm trying to tell people, I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you think I'm a Pookie and Ray Ray. So what? I probably got more money than you. And I'm telling you, you can be an accountant. You can have a business degree. Man, you should be in these places buying up this property and owning our communities. It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Mm-hmm. Stop letting everybody else get it. And then we'll be in positions to give our people loans to redevelop our own communities. And at over time, what I'm saying is our grandparents fought for us to go to college to get the education so we could have the know-how to become the millionaires. Mm-hmm. Not working for somebody else.
Right.
And when you do that, you won't have to. You won't see that many Bobby Smurno celebrating.
Yeah, I get it. I don't disagree.
That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. You ain't gotta like me. I understand. I'm a felon. I'm a thug. I get it. You look at me. Some of y'all look at me with the same stereotypical lens that a white man would, because you've been trained and conditioned to do that. You might as well be a white man in brown skin. I get it. I understand. Some of y'all want to do that. That's fine. But what I'm saying to you is, get down here and get in the game and compete. Mm-hmm. We should have black men in this country, with all the education we got, should have an economic agenda and a political agenda that's strong. Certain bills on the table, specifically for black people. We should have it. We should have all of that stuff in place already. And we should be able to see it. That's all I'm saying. We're not gonna all agree as to how things is done. But one thing nobody can tell me I'm wrong. When you look at the Mexicans, when you go into their communities, it's all Mexican stores.
Yep.
All Mexican stores. Italian community, all Italian stores.
Oh yeah.
All just Latinos, everybody. We ain't got no excuse today, man. We ain't got no excuse. Stop going to work. Stop going to work for Comcast for 25 years, giving all your black expertise to them. Work with other talented brothers and sisters and create your own stuff. And let the same young guy that's looking up to Bobby Smyrna, let them look up to you. That's all I'm saying. I want my son. I remember before as we closed out, right? I give you an example. Here in Philadelphia, a lot of people used to diss Donovan McNabb, right? And I used to tell people, hell no, I want my son to be like Donovan McNabb. The hell with that. Young, strong, educated black man, come from 2-parent household, decent brother. He got in trouble one time after he retired. He had the drunk driving, but during his playing career, stellar career, never been in trouble. Good stand-up man, very articulate. I want my son to be like that. I want my son to be like the Grant Hills. And I'm raising him to be like that. I'm raising him to be where I'm living what I'm saying. I'm raising my son to be where younger people, when my son is older, instead of looking at what his dad was when I was young, I want them to look at the best version of something I produced. I want them to emulate what I hope my son to become. That's what I want him to do. So a lot of you brothers, you say you educated lames and you this. How about getting your nephews and a lot of these young brothers to look up to you instead of the Bobby Smyrnas? Make yourself visible. Make yourself visible where they can emulate what you're doing. Work with other brothers and produce. When unarmed black men get shot in the back, walk down there with power and get something done. Get some real black attorney generals in there that can get something done to the point where they look at you and say, "The hell with that drill music. I want to be like that brother. That brother got power. That brother got my mom justice." Let's see this shit start moving in action. We got black attorney generals and still ain't getting no justice. We got black people in positions of power everywhere and still no justice for our people. We still talking about reparations and we still talking about getting our just due. We still experiencing racism in these corporate jobs, walking with our head down, but coming on YouTube like everything is okay, knowing that you got to conform a certain way or your ass is out of there. You know it. I just love you enough to be honest and tell the people the truth. I don't hate my brothers, man. I don't do that. I don't come on here. That's why I'm not fast with that coon word and all that kind of stuff. I know a lot of brothers, O'Shea, experience a lot of bullshit in these corporate buildings, but they keep their mouth shut because there's no mechanisms in place to protect them if they do speak up. We've seen it with Nick Cannon. So if it happened to Nick Cannon, imagine what your little 6-figure ass working down there at Ford or the mother off. You can't say a damn thing. You got to shut up. So all I'm saying is, if you don't want to see the Bobby Smyrnas out in the forefront of communities, make yourself more visible, man. Man, help urban nerves grow. Be a part of urban nerves. Let's bring black intelligence back to the community. Let's get some real black power. Let's redefine what black power is in 2021. Let's protect black men. Let's protect black families. I don't care. Listen, I don't care if you don't care about the community. You still should be a part of it, because if you're a black man, you still need protection from this dominant society that at a wink's eye turn their back on you. One mistake, that's it. One mistake, we've seen it already. One mistake, that's it, and you be coming right back to the brothers saying you need help.
Yep.
See, I know some brothers that might sell out or whatever, but at the end of the day, regardless of what, they still black men.
Right.
And at some point, we get our wake up call in this goddamn place. And I don't like a lot of our negative stuff's being celebrated either. That's why I did something about it. That's why I called it Urban Nerds, because a lot of you brothers that watch this that may not like me, you are urban nerd. You come from urban areas and you're intelligent. So I made this actually after your ass. We want to put you out in the forefront. A lot of you brothers come from some of the gulliest places in America, and you didn't sell drugs. You didn't get caught up in gangbangers and drive-bys. Your brother did. Your father did. You made it out. I created Urban Nerds after you. I want to showcase you to these kids. So the ball was in your court now. You ain't gotta like me, but I'm doing something. That's all I'm saying.
Well, guys, listen, it's a great build. Shout out to Brother George with the Urban Nerd YouTube channel and brand. All that information will be pinned to the first comment, pinned to the top. And as you know, brothers, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. We are out. You got one last thing?
Yeah, one last thing. Yeah, you guys, if you guys want to help with Urban Nerds, you can go to the website. I think he'll pin it. It's www.urbannerdsworldwide.com, and you can donate. We're a charity. It's a tax write-off. We, nonprofit 501c3. Man, we take donations from our people, the public. You guys can donate. It's not no scam crap. The website is there. Like I said, all of our stuff is legit, and you can go to our channels. You can see our promotional videos, and you can see what we're doing. But I'd rather have support from my people than have to go to the other side to get it. And then when I'm over there, everybody calling me a sellout. When I'm doing the work, and I'd rather be supported by my people. I'd rather be you educated lame brothers. I don't like that term. I'd rather support my brothers, and I'd rather put my brothers at the forefront, because we need the best of our people that love their people. You that love their people and want to develop communities, you get the economic floor from developing communities. Stop letting the Chinese get it. Stop letting the Russians get the economic floor. Your grandparents fought for you to get the education. You become the millionaires by owning the communities. I'll go in the community and handle the kids. You just buy the shit up. You get the loans from the bank because you got the know-how. I'll go in and do the work. Some of y'all don't want to go in, I'll go in. But I need the backing of strong, educated black men and women. Stop running from the community. Set up a fortress where we can protect each other. Y'all got the education and know-how. There's no reason why we can't do it. No more excuses, man. Stop empowering other groups and let's empower each other. That's all. I'm done.
All right, guys. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.